Peru News Today. All you need to know about Peru.
Finds in Peru during 2023, the year of historical discoveries in national territory. We have put together a list of the archaeological and scientific discoveries that occurred in Peruvian lands throughout the 12 months and have amazed the world. This 2023, throughout Peru, dozens of archaeological finds have been made. Below, we present those that transcended time, filled citizens with pride and astonished the international scientific community. New vestiges of the Chankay, a culture that called the Small North. One of the first archaeological discoveries that aroused the curiosity of Peru and the rest of the world, in 2023, occurred in the month of February. From Huaral, one of the provinces of Lima and located in the north of the national territory, the discovery of what would have been an architectural structure erected more than 3,500 years ago was reported. Catalogued by archaeologists as a ceremonial temple in the shape of the letter U, it belongs to the Andean formative period. This structure, made up of a central pyramid and two elongated buildings, would be one of the largest on the central Peruvian coast. It is located exactly on the left bank of the lower valley of the Chankay River, in the Ocalama district of Huaral, and was part of the domains of the Chankay culture, 1000 to 1470 AD, for a period of time, without however, until now it is unknown which pre-Inca culture built it and what its real motives were. The Lord of the Sea. Also in February, after discovering this ceremonial temple in Chankay, the team of experts led by Peter van Dalen, a professor at the Faculty of Social Sciences of the Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos, made history again by finding human bones from more than 800 years old in the Makitan funerary archaeological site, located in the province of Huaral. In addition to unearthing the remains of two adults and a neonate belonging to a lower social stratum of the Chankay culture, the tomb of the Lord of the Sea, an elite character, was found. This is the tomb with the greatest characteristics and largest magnitude discovered so far. She was found in a tomb 7 meters on each side and 7 meters deep, which makes us see that she was a high-status character, said Van Dalen. Sculpture of an Andean cross, the oldest in South America. In March, with Peter van Dalen again leading a group of specialists, a temple around 4,000 years old was found in the Chankay Valley. What surprised locals and strangers is that the oldest Andean cross or chacana in South America is sculpted inside. It is presumed that its authors would have been part of the Aymara, a culture that reigned 3,000 or 4,000 years ago on the central coast of Peru and then migrated to the highlands. Mass burials in Amazonas. In May, the Amazon region was the focus of the news. Peruvian archaeologists found numerous human remains at the Los Juntas archaeological site, located in the province of Bagua. Their theory is that it would be a pre-Hispanic collective burial. We were already closing the archaeological research project until we found a sealed opening. By digging a little we discovered that it was a collective tomb, added archaeologist Daniel Castillo Benitez, in charge of the excavation work. In the enclosure, several bone remains gathered randomly and various ceramics were discovered around it, so it is presumed that it would be a place of worship occupied by several cultures. Rupac, the Machu Picchu of Lima. Archaeologist Peter van Dalen revealed that the Rupac archaeological site, located in the high Andean area of the province of Huaral, north of Lima, would be more than 2,000 years old and not 1,000, as was believed some time ago. Finds of human remains, ceramics and other types of artifacts changed history. This infrastructure would have been built by the Atavilos culture, one of the most important pre-Inca cultures in the province of Lima. Its objective was to build a defense system from above. The fossil of the heaviest animal on Earth was found in Peru. In August, in the Acuquia Desert, located in the Ica region, the fossil of the heaviest animal in the history of the Earth was found, a gigantic whale that was named Perucetus. The characteristics of this large cetacean, which inhabited the national territory almost 40 million years ago, surprised locals and strangers around the world. According to the prestigious scientific journal Nature, its size was 20 meters in length while its weight, greater than that of any dinosaur, was between 85 and 340 tons. It should be noted that, currently, the heaviest living animal on the face of the earth is the blue whale, weighing 190 tons. The Carols had knowledge of urban planning. In September, an archaeological discovery demonstrated how architecturally trained the residents of Peru were, the oldest and most organized civilization in America, located in the Supe Valley, Barranca Province, Lima region. In the El Molino settlement, located in the town center of the same name, a series of scale models were discovered that are in good condition. During the excavations that were being carried out in the upper part of the pyramidal building in El Molino, what corresponds to the representation of a model of an urban center that may have been replicated in El Molino has been found in the back of the ceremonial hall. This settlement as well as another, that is, this scale has had to be transferred to larger dimensions, archaeologist David Palomino Olivos told the Andina Agency. Peruvian ancestor, buried more than 1,000 years ago, was found in Miraflores. The site where the archaeological remains were found was the Huaca Pusilana, a complex built by the Lima culture in the middle of the year 500 AD in what is now the district of Miraflores. It is made up of a set of pyramids, squares, patios and ramp accesses, all made from clay. There, in the month of September, the mummy of an adult person belonging to the early period of the Ixmal culture was found, which inhabited the Huaca Pusilana and part of the central coast of Peru, between the years 1000 and 1450 AD. The remains of the individual were found in a simple circular grave, in a sitting and flexed position. A funerary trousseau and ceramic vessels with abstract decoration, black outline, white parts and red base, were placed next to the body. Peru is home to the oldest adobe city in the world. In October, it was found that Peru is home to the oldest adobe city in the world. This was verified thanks to a radiocarbon dating analysis of botanical, faunal and human remains found in the monumental complex Los Morteros, located in the Jau Valley of the La Libertad region. In this way it was possible to know that it is at least 6,000 years old. This architectural enclosure was built mostly of mud and straw. Inside, thanks to the continuous excavations carried out in the place, objects for ceremonial use have been found over the years. They found an animal never before identified in the San Martin jungle. Infobi Peru managed to learn about the discovery of an animal never before identified in the Peruvian jungle. In Rioja, province of San Martin, a specimen the size of a giant rat was found thanks to joint exploration work with specialists from Conservation International (C), a non-profit organization that seeks the participation of society in the conservation of the services that nature offers and that are the basis of human well-being. It's very big, as if it were a vintage. Rather, at first we thought it was an old thing, but in the end it wasn't, because it was already very big. We confused it, but after the study of biologists and scientists who came here, they confirmed that it was a new species that had never been recorded. They were experts in flora and fauna, declared Alex Castillo, Santa Elena counselor, to this medium. Surprising find in the Nazca Pampas. Due to excavations that began at the end of 2022, in December it was possible to completely unearth pre-Inca vestiges at the El Trigal III site in the La Puntilla area, located in the province of Nazca, in the Ica region, located to the south from Lima. The discovery is a large architectural complex, made up of a two-story building and a patio with warehouses from the time of the Wari state, according to archaeologists from the Autonomous University of Barcelona, the entity that promoted this research. It had the walls plastered in white and yellow, due to the remains adhered to the stones that made up the architectural material. And on the ground floor, which has been preserved, there is evidence of food preparation and storage work, they detailed. What surprised archaeologists is that the Wari culture flourished in the Peruvian mountains, specifically in the Ayacucho region, thousands of kilometers from Nazca, located on the country's coast, the only Inca quarry on the Peruvian coast. In December, the discovery of the first stone factory from pre-Hispanic times on the Peruvian coast was reported. The Ministry of Culture was in charge of reporting that quarries were found where the Incas worked immense blocks of stone that were used to erect several of the walls of the settlements of the time, such as those of El Huarco, in Cerro Azul, and Vilcawasi, in San Luis, Cañete. Woman was mummified 500 years ago in Puente Piedra. The important archaeological discovery that was achieved in the Huacatambo Inga complex, Puente Piedra district, are 3 funerary bundles, separated into 2 cists, which contain 3 people wrapped with vessels, fabrics and necklaces. It is presumed that the mummies had belonged to a high-status family because they were buried within the Tambo Inca archaeological complex, which belonged to the Inca Empire in the last stretch of the pre-Hispanic era, and not in the cemeteries around the aforementioned administrative site. It is an administrative center that was the area of the Collis, that is, of the Colic Manor, but which later passed into the hands of the Incas. The Incas, by subjugating the Collis, established themselves in this administrative center that would have controlled the entire area of northern Lima. Archaeologist Roxana Gomez Torres, director of the Tambo Inca Research Project, informed Infobi Peru. New geoglyphs in Nazca. A total of 29 new geoglyphs were found by 20 students and an archaeologist from the National University San Luis Gonzaga of Ica, Unica, in the districts of El Ingenio and Shanguilo, located in the province of Nazca, Ica region, south of Lima, the capital of Peru. The research work lasted 4 months and was authorized by the Ministry of Culture, MINCUL. These figures were drawn on the slopes of the hills in the town center of San Francisco, in the El Ingenio district, and in the San Juan sector in Shanguilo, and represent figures of felines and anthropomorphic characters.
Peru News Today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.